Matteo, Euroluce 2019. That is Milano Design Week, because this is what we've been doing. And we've done a live production on Facebook. We've already talked about the products, but I would ask you to quickly overview the new collections and to make adjustments on something already presented, followed by a recap of these days at the fair. Well, first of all, allow me to thank the staff, because there's a lot of talk about designers, products, models, and innovations, but none about what's behind all that. So I'd like first to thank everyone that contributed. We have a staff that truly makes me proud. These collaborators include lots of designers, of course. Some have been working with you for years, updating and bringing new codes. Others are new, and you always have this desire to work on tradition, like that of glass, which is 500 years old, but also to find new situations. Yes, exactly. The designers are the first to give to you, to us. The stimulus is theirs. They challenge us and bring us increasingly demanding collections. To repeat, only a close-knit group of people, each skilled in their own area, can make certain products like the ones we see here. Remember that we're presenting 10 new collections and 4 variations of existing ones. Materials are very important. We've mentioned the use of metal articulated in various ways, and above all, in a constant, ongoing dialogue with crystal. And I have to say that during these days here, I've clearly noted this. Yes, so we tried to get the most out of our skills. Glass, crystal, and beyond ultra-bright crystal, the colors we've already discussed too. But it bears emphasizing this. And in the final stage, as we're in now, I'd say the market has fully welcomed it and has understood the effort that was made. This is hard much of the time. Crystal was said to be a value perceived by everyone. Everyone sees a crystal that shines and recognizes it as better than one that is less shiny. But with color come difficulties, and some things that might be just as complex to achieve are not always so easily perceived. And we can employ many special details, like, say, the crystal balls that are irregular, using ancient techniques, but making them, so to speak, dense, and a little contemporary. Yes, I'd say that here too. It isn't easy. Rediscovering the classic isn't easy because you have to reinterpret not only the shape, but the techniques as well. In fact, in other sectors, perhaps, it might be enough to renew the shapes alone, but in our case, the combination between innovative form, in this case, for example, with gold, the shape is a simple one, but the decoration that is reinterpreted and rediscovered is joined to these colorings as well, and together they make for a truly innovative union. Matteo, you travel a lot and go to work on various markets in Asia and Russia, and of course, not just in the United States. This is your thermometer, knowing those markets and knowing the people. You were talking about people earlier, who are in some way ambassadors of the Vistosi lighting message, traveling the world. Translation: what are the important markets, and what signals did you get during these days? Well, emerging markets like China are giving us enormous satisfaction. Of course, it is enough to consider how competitive a market it really is, from so many standpoints. But I've had the pleasure of seeing they know how to appreciate difference. They know how to appreciate detail. They know how to appreciate care. So we then added major investments. Remember that last year we certified the entire catalog for Chinese regulations. So there are investments from that perspective, too. I'd like to ask you a question on custom work, because I know you're in the world of luxury and fashion, that you make things, and some things you unfortunately can't say, but you make things that are just unique, chandeliers that are real works of art. So, in that sector where you have a lot of fun, there's also margin, I'd imagine. What's going on? Well, it's a sector in enormous development. In our own small way, what we want to say is that we have the pride of being able to realize, in practice, what the minds of major architects design with renderings, with things. We can do this by seeing the rendering. We can say it can be done, and we do it. It's presented to the final client, and then, in the end, we can make it, because it's not easy from the design to interpret and say, yes, this will be how you see it in the rendering. A final question on product industrialization. I'm talking about screws, exposed joints. You worked a lot, this is perhaps clear to experts, but less so to those who do not perceive it. You worked a lot on reducing, on hiding the heat for the LED sources. There's a lot of hidden work as well. I see you've done your homework. Excellent. Yes, attention to detail is key. A weld that's not exposed, hidden screws, but even shadows, because LED light sources are very much point sources, so it's easy to create shadows with anchoring systems, diffusers, etc. And also, generally, detail is not just in the coupling system, but also in ease of product maintenance, because the products must be, and our crystals are, constantly cleaned and washed. This is also a detail on which, let's say, we've worked a great deal, and this was recognized at the fair. I'd close with a very particular question. Have we forgot to say anything? Well, I started with thanks, and I would like to stress this because I felt a little guilty. In other interviews, I never had the chance, so I extend double thanks to the staff and everyone, including suppliers, collaborators, and consultants who worked with the company to do all of this, and then I'd like to urge them to keep on doing so in the future.